Hello students of class 10th. This is the chapter number 3, lecture number 1. In this lecture we will discuss about the metals and non-metals, and what are metals and non-metals. First we will study about the physical properties of metals as well as non-metals. If you see the physical properties, the first point we see that about luster. If we talk, luster means shine. So you all know that the metals have a metallic shine. So we will just say that all metals have luster. If we talk about non-metals, you know that they do not have luster. So we will say do not have luster, no shine. But there is an exception. We can say that except iodine and graphite. Why? Because iodine and graphite are having shine. So they are an exception here. Second point, if we talk about hardness, we know that the metals are very hard. So we will write they are very hard, except, what is the exception? Sodium and potassium. Why? Because sodium and potassium are the metals which are having a soft nature. If we talk about non-metals, they are not hard. So we can say they are soft except diamond, why? Because diamond is a hard substance. We all know that. Now, next is the property, that is malleability. And malleability, as you have read in the previous classes, that is, it is an ability to be beaten into sheets, thin sheets. We can convert the metals or non-metals into thin sheets. If we talk about metals, so malleability is there. That means they are highly malleable. You must have seen that the metals such as aluminium or iron or copper can be beaten into thin sheets, and we can obtain the sheets of these metals, but it is very hard to obtain the sheets of non-metals. Why? They will break actually. That is why. So they are non-malleable. Now, if we talk about the ductility, ductility is a property to be drawn into thin wires. So whenever any metals or non-metals is drawn, can be drawn into thin wires, then that will be ductile. But if we see metals, they are ductile except zinc, antimony and arsenic. Whereas your non-metals are non-ductile except carbon fiber. That means the carbon can be drawn into thin fibers. So that is why carbon here is a exception. Otherwise all the non-metals are non-ductile. That means they cannot be drawn into thin wires. As you know that we can obtain the copper wire, we can obtain the silver wire, many are there, but we cannot obtain the wires of non-metals. Now, if we talk about the conductivity, metals are the good conductors of electricity as well as heat, good conductors, whereas the non-metals are found to be bad conductor of both heat as well as electricity. Why? Here first exception, we just discuss about exception. Exception is bismuth and tungsten, whereas here the exception is graphite and gas carbon. So why they are the good conductors of heat and electricity? Because in metals the presence of free electrons or the electrons are available to conduct the electricity. Okay, but in case of non-metals there are not present of any free electrons. That is why they are found to be bad conductor of heat as well as electricity. Let's talk about the state. If we see the metals, they are found in solid state except mercury and gallium. Why? Because mercury and gallium are found to be in a liquid state at room temperature. Otherwise, except these two metals, all are found to be at as solid at room temperature. If we talk about non-metals, they may be solid, liquid, or gas, except bromine. Why? Because bromine is found to be in liquid state. If we talk about density, so the metals are highly dense, or we can say they are having high density, except again sodium and potassium. That means if you just keep the metals that is sodium and potassium in water, they will actually float on water because of the less density. Otherwise all the metals except sodium and potassium will actually just settle down at the bottom. They will not float on any liquid. So that is why they are having a high, that is why we can say they are having a high density. If we talk about the non-metals, they are having low density except diamond. That means non-metals, if kept in liquid, they will, due to the density, less density, they will float on liquid. If we talk about the melting and boiling point, then melting and boiling point of metals is found to be very high, whereas non-metals are having less or low melting and boiling point. What does it mean? That if you heat the metals at normal temperature, they will not melt easily. So what it is required? It is required to give the high temperature. Then only they will be able to melt and achieve the melting point and then boiling point. So the metals are always required high temperature, and whereas non-metals can be melted in a normal temperature or above the room temperature easily. If we talk about the tensile strength, what is tensile strength? So tensile strength is basically the elastic nature of the element. So how we stretch it, it depends on the tensile strength. If it is stretched and do not get deformed easily, then we can say that it is having a high tensile strength. So if we talk about the metals, they are having high tensile strength. Whereas if we talk about non-metals, they are having low tensile strength. And this ability of metals allow it to be beaten into sheets or thin wires, while non-metals are having less tensile strength. That is why they cannot be having the malleability or ductility property. Next is the sonority. Sonority, that means the sound when it is hit with some heavy material, then it creates a sound. That means it is having a sonorous nature. So if we talk about metals, metals are sonorous in nature, while non-metals are non-sonorous. This you must have seen that the metals or the made up of the bells made up of metals, whenever hit with any hard material or hit towards hard material, then it creates a sound, and this is the property, that is sonority, while the non-metals do not have such property. Now, based on upon the physical properties as we discussed, and the NCERT book, it is having some questions related to the physical properties, page number 40. Let's have a discussion on the first question, that is, give an example of a metal which is a liquid at a room temperature. So I have told you that the exception is there, that mercury, we are talking about metals, so exception is mercury. So mercury and gallium both are the option, but only one option is asked, an example it is asked, so we will write mercury. What is the second question? That the metal which can be easily cut with knife, so that is sodium and potassium both, so I am writing sodium. Which is the best conductor of heat? Then it is a silver, because silver is the best conductor of heat. That is why we are writing metal, that is silver here. Now, which one is the poor conductor of heat? It is astatine. Is the metal which is the poor conductor of electricity. It is among all the metals, it is the poor conductor. Why? Because its conductivity is very less. That is why. Now, the next question is, explain the meanings of malleable and ductile. As we have learned that what is malleability or malleable. So malleable means if some metals can be beaten into thin sheets, then this property is called as malleability. Whereas ductility, or we can say ductile, the meaning of ductile, as I have told you, that the ability of metals, because non-metals do not have this property, so we'll write the ability of metals to be drawn into thin wires is called ductility. Okay, thank you.